because a lot of them happen whilst we are casting. But we certainly do watch the ones on our sort of off games, the ones that are going on. And yeah, there's definitely been quite a bit today so far. We've got the bans coming in. Just a reminder for everybody of where we're up to, anybody who's joined since the first map. We are in a best of 3, of course, DarkZero versus Team Secret. DarkZero were behind for the majority of their map pick on Skyscraper, but took it to overtime and were able to win 8-6. Team Secret, they looked a little beat up at the end of it. And I sort of voiced my concern for them coming into bank here. They need a good start, is what I would say. If DarkZero are able to pick up a couple of attacks to begin with, I feel like it could potentially get on top of them. Des really wants a Soulless.
Okay, Secret lose. GG, 2-0. Nice, we get to go to bed early today.
For anybody wondering why Des feels like that, DarkZero showed us a fantastic use of Solus throughout Skyscraper. Canadian was using Solus a lot, and they just denied so much information. 4, sometimes 5 drones taken out in the prep phase. They were absolutely on it, and Team Secret really suffered of being starved of information. So it's going to be something that I expect we will likely see again. But that being said, Des, they may not have banned it because they're going to use it against DarkZero this time. Kendra bringing on the Solus.
Alrighty, first round is underway, and yes, I do really want to see this used by Secret well. If they're going to be looking to play it as well, they haven't chosen to ban it away. It needs to be used well. Pamba finding his own response with the IQ coming in on the other side along with the Jackal does mean, like a few teams have realized, that you can punish a Solus who's trying to get very aggressive on trying to find these drones too early on. And generally, if a team can use an operator like Solus well, they know how to counter it well too.
Slebin on the Oryx, just taking out the hatch. Of course, the ability to climb up the hatches for Oryx. He's going to open those up, so he's ready to go, ready to move. And there is nothing restricting or impeding his progress when he chooses to do so. It is a bottom floor defense here, but we've got a lot of presence from Secret up on the top floor. 3 at the minute. Slebin, Kendrew, and Astro all upstairs. I think Slebin, no, he's in the elevator. I was going to say I thought he dropped away to loan office maybe, but he hasn't. He's going to maintain his position for the time being, and this is going to be a job for DarkZero to clear this out. And this is Team Secret playing into exactly what they saw in that first map, which was a slow DarkZero who were punished when time was burnt out in the beginning of the round.
I'd love to know where that Mozzie Pest is coming out of Groovy, because clearly it's not in a very good space that they can just jump window drones in through the window and get around it. Still, I'm looking more towards Kendrew at the minute. And to be fair, I will commend DarkZero. They didn't lose a single drone during the drone phase and only just lost one of their first ones. So doing a second one coming down as well. And another, and another. They're down to 6 all of a sudden. But before I started talking, they've done a really good job of keeping all these drones alive. Now, part of that you can put down to the fact that DarkZero do play incredibly slow. And there we go. Groovy's the first one taken off the board. It may be down to DarkZero playing quite slow, but they're also very mindful again of the Solus and how much work it can do.
There's the potential here for DarkZero to recognise that sight is very light and to just head their way in and try to bully them, and that's exactly what it looks like could be the possibility here. They have left the wall soft, but Gavarni will make short work of that. He's got the skeleton key in hand, so he can get that done, and this could be dangerous for Team Secret. The collapse needs to start happening. They need to get themselves into a position here to prevent this diffuser going down.
Do. Getting back to site normally is pretty... not quick on this map. It's not as quick as, say, Clubhouse on an SSG drone, but it's still doable in pretty good time. Gendry feeding over a lot of information as well, just to let his team know exactly where the push is coming from. But surely he knows that they're on the downstairs and looking to work their way through. He's looking in for a bit of a backstab there. There's that flank drone that he was looking for, taken out and dips himself away. Might find himself in a spot of bother, though, as there is a player or two currently holding around the hatch. Here we go. Tries to charge through. Pamba finds one. Instantly, a second onto gold as well. It's like the stars aligned for him. A 2K comes in, and DZ are in a 5v2.
Flawless movement from Pamba is the best way that I can put that. Absolutely beautiful. Just really opening things up for DarkZero here, who get in, get a plant down without a problem, and that is likely round done. 5 versus 3, Kendrew. He's trying to get himself back into sight. He's trying to start the process of this retake, but he's going to have NJR coming down behind him, but Pambazoo beats him to it. That is a 4K at least for Pambazoo. A flawless round for DarkZero. I'm just trying to think in my mind, did Pamba pick up that 5th? No, Gavarni got one.
I mean, for a team that are normally quiet, that was pretty noisy for DarkZero after round 1. I'm not going to say no to it.
Did Gaveni get the opener? Gaveni got the opener.
No, yes. Pamba got the 2, didn't he?
No, Pamba got 4. Gaveni had already got one. Got the opener. My question was 4K or ace, but no, Gaveni definitely.
Denied Pamba.
4 and 0.
What I love about it was the read on there. So, I mean, like you said as well, the site was empty, let's hit it.
Yeah.
They didn't just plant shallow once they got the wall blown out by the buck. They went deep and took control of the shield, for example, that was inside of sight. They set up crossfires as well to cover that site. There was just nothing really those last 2 members of Team Secret could have done. So really well managed there by DarkZero and very good at identifying the opportunity after dancing around that Solus for the entirety of the start.
Well, I feel like it was a smart decision probably during the play. You know, Skies was down there in server, and I think the play probably was to try and plant CCTV in the default spot. The skeleton key was used to open the wall up, the thermite charge was used to open the opposite wall that looks through towards Red Corridor. But as soon as Pamba drops and gets that kill into gold bars and he just goes running into sight, the call then is, site's empty, everybody. So the last place that you really want to plant in that situation is default CCTV, because it's going to be the easiest for the retake to challenge onto. So like you said, the decision is then made, let's switch it up, Skies goes deep, you know, and we can use that defensive utility against them. So yeah, it was very nice. And honestly, I don't think this could have started worse with Team Secret. You know, a flawless round for DarkZero in the fashion that they did, because Team Secret were trying to use that, you know, that attitude that they had back on Skyscraper. Let's get out in the map, let's make it difficult, let's burn all their time. And DarkZero said, yeah, that's fine, we're not going to struggle for time because we're not going to play into it. So now Team Secret are left sort of feeling like, you know, that's not going to work. What's plan B?
100%. I'm liking here as well from the side of DarkZero to be bringing along the Decabi. It was so successful for them on the previous map, but dealing with the roamers of Secret, forcing them back towards site. Here it feels to be a pretty similar story. We have got a couple of players on the upstairs, but there is definitely more site presence this time around from Team Secret compared to round 1.
Just going to see the long-range health boost onto Kendrew there, but it's not going to matter as Skies is able to go in and get the kill. Astro does find Gaveni along the way, but Skies is going to be getting that diffuser down after the kill. He's going to have to step away from it. He's going to be taken away from it as Sleben manages to get a kill with a headshot. Astro doubling down as well, second in the round. Canadian manages to get a late trade onto Sleben. Groovy is seriously low health here, but otherwise it's a 2 versus 3, and with 1 minute 30 left to go, DarkZero not having any problem about speed in this map, Des.
You're hearing the call come out from Canadian there as well towards the end of the round. It feels like Ruby the one trying to do a little bit of work. NGR coming up against Astro here, and Astro's still got the ability to juice himself up a little bit, even to heal Groovy there, and there he goes, back up to full HP. Of course, that got changed recently to heal. I believe it's 200 HP it now heals, so it's not partial, but it is a full heal, so maybe explains why you're seeing a little more dot being brought along in these rounds.
NGR's just trying to work and use the time that's available to DarkZero here to get onto the flank. He's got a drone going ahead of him, obviously pinging out a bit of information there that there's a potential for a wall bang, but he's unable to find it, and you just feel like his presence has been announced now, and he's going to struggle to get any real value out of Archives and Tellers, I would have thought. He's going to hold the angle for the time being, try and cut off the rotates, but he doesn't really have the support of Canadian at the moment.
It's a good place is being held by Secret as well, looking for the crossfire onto the admin door, just in case NGR does look to come pushing in, and as that clock has run down for the last 60 seconds, I get the feeling he won't have much choice but to force his way through and try and find whatever gunfights he can. Canadian being swung, it's an easy close up for Astro. NJR, the last one left standing, they know exactly where he is, and this should be a pretty simple closeout in the next 15 seconds.
Manages to get one, he's on the hunt for more. I think Astro knows exactly where he was coming from, not the quietest of operators being a 1 speed, but that is going to be the round for Team Secret. And I think they desperately needed that, Des. As I said, you know, they needed a good win within the first couple of rounds to just steady themselves and get themselves into this one. You know, had another round or two gone DarkZero's way, I'd have been very concerned for Team Secret, but that is looking much better.
Twister a paid actor, just nearly broke Kendrew's finger, by the way. Because they hold their like fists out, like a fist bump, and it's just like, bam! Slaps the fist. Nearly broke his finger. Did you see that? Sabotage of his own team.
It's not.
Kendrew was saying, nearly broke my finger. I didn't even hear a sorry from Twister.
I'm sure he is sorry.
Despicable.
Round 3. this time are going to be back down in the basement. Team Secret are going to give it another try. I'm interested to see if they are as widespread across the map as they were previously. That was definitely part of the problem. DarkZero have shown in both round 1 and 2 that they are willing to just go route 1, direct into site if given the opportunity. They are certainly not struggling the same problem that they had on Skyscraper, which was a problem of pace. That's not going to be the case here. So we're getting into the action phase. Kendrew is up on the top floor. He's supported by Sleben up there as well. Groovy's just going into open area, I think, so they are still reasonably well spread. There's nothing wrong with the open area presence. They just need to make sure that they don't overstay their welcome.
No, and I like, again, it's a very similar lineup coming out of Secret. Got the Solus on side, plus the Mozzie for that information denial as best they can. But once again, DarkZero doing a great job of keeping every single drone alive, at least for now.
Pamba's going to try the long angle, doesn't really get any joy with it, neither does Gaveni. So the push may well come directly in, but I don't think they're too keen. Oh no, I was going to say I don't think they're too keen to get themselves in through this single window, but they are going to send the Gemini clone in through there. But I think the fact that Grubby shuts that straight down is going to tell them everything they need to know about whether they go that way. Grubby with a beautiful shot onto Pamba, but Gaveni goes in and gets a double, and sometimes it's worth sacrificing a life to take their eyes off the prize, and that's exactly what happened. Open area now in the control of DarkZero within the first minute, Des.
Off the back of Gaveni pushing his way into kitchen as well, whilst all the focus was looking elsewhere. He's done a lot of damage. 3 players left alive, and this really is fantastic for DZ. You've got 2 minutes to play with. You've got control of a key part of the map to keep on working forwards. The only thing they've got to be mindful of, and this drone will help with that, is there is 1 player on the upstairs and there is 1 hanging around elevators. It's Kendrew and Sleben that can still do some damage, but again, if DZ can identify, actually there's 2 players off site here, they could just hit it and try and crush the 1 man that sat there in Savage.
DarkZero seem to be recognising that. They've gone down, they look to get a kill onto Savage, but he's going to hit a beautiful headshot in return onto Gaveni, leaving us now 3 versus 3, levelling up that man count. There is a hit point advantage, a slight one, towards DarkZero, but Secret have got themselves back downstairs, potentially in a position just to sort of settle in here, but NJR is going to use that ITA to open up the wall and give an opportunity potentially, if Skies comes down to join them, to get this diffuser down on the ground.
That's it, right? They've got no more dials. They can hack over these cams if they want to. It's exactly what he's going to go for here. Smoke still in the back pocket of NGR to play behind. They've got flashbangs, for example. There is still a lot of work they can do. My only concern is the longer they're taking, the more time they're giving Secret to read what attack is coming. And that exothermic going off is most definitely going to make it even easier.
Well, this is it. Solus, Kendrew and Savage are just playing in tandem here. So Kendrew's going to sit in gold bars. His gadget will tell him if the plant's going down, at which point Savage throws a Toxic Babe canister and prevents that happening. You know, that is a couple of them gone, though, and he's had to run deep. Now then, if they can prevent this final utility coming in, Sleben's going to damage them, though. Manages to shut it down from above, and DarkZero, they're going to have to react, but they've got such little time to be able to do so.
They've got to go far deeper than they've gone right now. They know that 1's on main stairs, 1's in gold bars, but they've got to win those fights. They find 1. Canadian's still looking around. He can't find his man. Gets taken down as well. The hatch comes through, but the trade player's there. Kendrew gets the close down.
What the fuck are they doing?
Really well timed between Kendrew and Sleben there for that final challenge. As NJR was thinking about getting a plant down, the challenge comes in at the same time, and there's just no way that they lose that.
No, I mean, really for me, knowing that you're in a numbers advantage position as the DarkZero, you're pulling together a much stronger attack than that. And Canadian was the one left kind of flailing, trying to figure out where Sleben was coming from. He expected him to come towards square, but he doubled back, sat in Janitor, played that long angle, and they just weren't respecting it, even with smokes in the back pocket of NJR. So DarkZero paying the price there a little bit. Really could have done better with the numbers advantage they had.
We're going to have the mirror on board this time around. Kendrew going to be the one to bring it. Archives and Tellers will be the site of choice. Castle as well. So I would expect, or at least it looks like Team Secret are expecting a lobby-sided push and are preparing for it. They're going to look to try and hold that off and prevent them opening that wall up. There's also going to be a top floor presence as well, which is pretty much standard. It's par for the course. Need to just prevent that vertical, because there's so much verticality into Archives and Tellers. You can basically take up the entirety of the ceiling above, apart from one small area.
Oh, Savage. Don't live up to your namesake, son. Let him go scot-free. DarkZero going to make it away without being caught out on a cheeky little spawn peek. So for now, retain all 5 alive as they put a lot of their focus, it looks like, to be on these windows on the upstairs. Very expected for this site. You want to make sure there's no one playing above. They can't deny you through the vertical holes. And DarkZero have come well armed to also threaten with the verticals themselves, with the breaching rounds coming through on 2 of their team members, as well as a sledge and a buck. Some might even call that vertical overkill with the amount they've come armed to the teeth with, but they're still going to be able to find a way on site and make a plan happen, which I imagine will come in the form of Skies with those smokes in back pocket and diffuser in his hand.
Canadian's going to be on the windows to begin with, looking to begin the push with the top floor clearance. That's good quick progress there. Not something that we said an awful lot about DarkZero previously. NJR is going to shut down Groovy. He's going well again, had a good game on Skyscraper 5-2 now, along with Pambazoo 5-2. They could just do with maybe a couple of chip-ins from elsewhere, might just help to get a couple of these rounds over the line. Now then, Savage right up against that double door. He wants to get aggressive here. He knows there's somebody out there. Needs to be careful though, because Canadian is on the windows.
3 of them on square, 1 on the skylight, 1 double door, 1 on window. He was walking into a death box there and really is quite fortunate to be walking away with his life. But DarkZero taking it nice and slow, didn't want to go charging their way forwards. I think they were somewhat impeded here, Gavini was, especially by the fact that there's a Mozzie Pest just inside of the room, so couldn't get his drone through. NGR though makes it a 2nd kill in the round. Tim flying so far on this.
He's had 2 from the rappel, Des. It's just a little bit too easy, but it just got a little bit harder for him as Slebber manages to take him down. Savage finding Canadian off the windows as well, so that is the rappel dealt with, and that is going to leave us now in a 3 versus 3. DarkZero just throwing away a little bit of an advantage that they had there, and Secret have been able to hold on to some of that top floor control as well.
I had someone message me and say during the tactical pause we should have ranked haircuts. I was like, I don't really think that Tim with any hair...
Let's be honest, I'm not the one to weigh in on that subject.
Let's weigh in on the absolute slaughter, though. DarkZero, 2 more kills coming out, taking that 3v3 down to a 3 versus 1. And Kendrew stares into the abyss here. No more waits for him. Is death from above, slaughter from the side. It's not feeling pretty. He takes a little bit of chip damage there. DarkZero have the idea as to where he is, and they've got 20 seconds to close him out. And there it is, through the hatch, ready and waiting. But yeah, somehow I don't think 2 30-plus-year-old blokes, one with no hair and one with a mop on his head, are really well placed for this.
We're not the ones. We're not those guys.
That's it. Okay.
I can even run through couch.
Yeah, that's what I would have you do. Yeah, that's what I would have you do.
They have the mirror on the kitchen wall, though.
That's fine. There was no one on it.
All right.
DarkZero able to win that one out and just sort of cementing exactly what they'd seen and how they can use that, obviously, in future rounds. It's going to be Staff and Open next up from Team Secret. We saw this back in round 2. It was a defensive win, so they're going to try to get that one done again. I feel like Team Secret need to be coming out of this defensive half with an advantage.
Yeah.
I'm not sure 3-3 is enough.
No, I think if they want a really good chance in the second half, I'm with you. They do need to come out in some advantageous form, if not at least, again, break even. But thinking about it, it's their map pick. Really, you should be coming out ahead. Still, we'll see how things play out from here. No IQ being swapped in onside for DarkZero. Well, there is a Valkyrie, of course, coming in here for Secrets. Those Black Eyes could work a little bit of bother. We've seen it there. It is last second from Pambazoo in the last 5 seconds brought in. They know that those Valkyrie cams can just cause a world of hurt, and they are worth getting off the board.
Pamba's going to be heading straight towards the building to put that gadget to work, as you say, trying to find those Valkyrie cams amongst any other electronic utility that he can. Also potentially looking to deal with a Solus that isn't on the board this time around, but obviously it can be useful should that operator be brought along. Gonna have a presence. Gruber is up on the top floor for the time being. Looks like he's largely on his own up there. Savage is going to be heading up there now. Big double from Kendrew, putting the Storm to work with a storm of headshots as he manages to find 2. And that's going to give Team Secret a hell of an advantage in round 5.
He picks as well. The Thatcher being taken off the board alongside the Ace. That's most of your hard breach gone, as well as your gadget denial. So really those mute jammers even more oppressive to think about. The ADS is still swinging in full force for NGR's nades to come through, but he cannot stop. Up to 7 and 3 on this map as he finds Kendra as well. Secret, I'm not saying a crumbling yet, Tim, but you're really starting to see those cracks turn into fissures.
Yes, exactly that. Certainly in this round, it's going to be difficult for them to come back from this one. They need a couple of kills, really. They could do with somebody to respond with a double of their own. NJR is working on those windows for the time being. Not going to have any joy just as of yet. He's going to take a chunk of damage, actually. And just everything that DarkZero seems to be trying at the minute, not really paying off. And Team Secret just happy to sit in position. There's been absolutely no pressure on Astro, for example, who's just sat in the middle of sight at the minute. Gruby, he's going to find one onto Pamba, leaving NJR still on half health. It's 1.5 now on the side of DarkZero. Savage decides that's enough. Enough time has been wasted at the 2 minutes. I'm going to drop back down. No need to give my life up on this. NJR can come in. He can have his verticality because it's unlikely that he's going to be doing too much with it.
It's a bit of a kicker as well for DZ because I'm pretty sure Canadian and Gaveni died with 4 drones in back pocket, 2 apiece on each of those dead team members. Really not ideal. Only 2 now left available in the back pockets of NJR and Sky, so it actually would have been 3 in the back pockets of those dead players. Still one you'd rather have out in the field. Sky's knocking very loudly on the door, and very clearly Secret were more than aware that he was there, ready to come pushing his way through.
Gruby just managing to get that one done and leaving us now in a 1 versus 4. It's looking pretty good for Secret, at least for this round. They're going to be holding on to Staff and open area once again, and that will be the final kill coming in, and we'll see that one closed out.
Whoever got kills, good fucking shit.
He's going to break someone's fingers, I swear to God. He is proper slamming them. I'm all for motivation as a coach, but that might be too far. Imagine if
the thing is, the last thing you want to do is actually hurt somebody's hand. You know, they're trying to play with the mouse and keyboard.
Imagine if I started slapping the back of your head after each cash you did that was really good. I was like, yeah, good stuff, Tim.
Please don't do that.
It would hurt.
Because it's the sort of thing you'll say as a joke, and then you'll do as a joke, and then it'll stick, and you'll just start doing it every time.
Yeah, now you put that idea in my head by mentioning it, though.
Yeah,
it wasn't really a thought I had until you said it.
Going to be defending the downstairs this time around, Team Secret for their final defence. We're going to have the bulletproof camera put out in garage just to prevent any pushers coming in through there. Knock is banned, so they know that they are pretty safe if they can keep an eye on that camera. It's going to push the attackers to have to go elsewhere. Now, looking to attack this, DarkZero were successful in moving quickly previously. I'm not sure how much is being invested away from site this time. Kendrew previously played all the way up on the top floor, for example. Sleben's up there on the minute, but he just drops back down as I'm saying that. So I don't think that Team Secret are spreading themselves quite as thin this time.
Just the comp is filth. Like, bleh, bleh. Look at it. 2 shields, the KB, Jackal. The only thing that looks even normal on that comp is Liana. She's got nades for days to start throwing around anyway. I'm really curious to see if they can make this work. If they keep all 5 alive and even start sniffing and execute, I don't really see how Team Secret stop this.
No, I would agree with you. We're going to have Canadian pushing into server there. He's already got server control.
That's the theme for this round, by the way, sick noises. Sorry.
Wretched.
Look, it's like, what time is it now? It's 9:15. It's definitely these kind of hours. We're past the watershed.
Well, I mean, to us, really, we're still sort of, you know, a bit of jet lag.
So it's basically 2 a.m.
It's 2:15 in the morning to us.
At that point, I apologise for nothing I said there.
NJR just going to be checking the drones for the time being, trying to guide others in. Canadian's going to be already bullying sight at this point, feeding information back in, just checking blue stairs. So he knows that they're pretty much clear on this side of the map. That's not too bad at all. Kendrew, however, is just sneaking around. He's looking to get himself onto the top of blue stairs, and if he does, there could be a double for him with Pamba pushing into server as well. But the really big kill for Kendrew would be coming down and taking Canadian out on the Monty.
For now, still slowly getting themselves set up. You can see one looking to push down through garage as well. But it's the Monty and the one man here that sat inside the server. They've got to be really, really careful. Kendrick's managed to work his way down the bottom, and now Canadian is very basically tied in. There's one behind the server stack going to push their way forward. The shield goes down, but Pamba's the one to find a kill. Canadian's still up, and Pamba's waiting for the one more man to come round. It's a shotgun from Savage to the face as he finishes off those 2 members and basically shuts that attack down dead in its tracks.
Yep, well played from Team Secret there. Dealt with the Monty pretty well, but still in a 3 versus 3. Gaveni's trying to push his way in through garage. They know that the bulletproof camera is still down there at the bottom, so they're going to have to deal with that at some point. That's going to do the job for them. They can now move up and look to take that out. And they also will no doubt go all the way over to the wall and just shoot it down from the side. So that's going to take the cam out. No, can't quite get to it just as of yet. Just conscious. There we go. I don't think you can get through the bins. There we go. Just going to take the cam down, and that's established inside a garage. But 2 players inside a garage in a 3v3 rush. 30 seconds left to go. I'm not too sure about this one.
Yeah, I mean, DZ haven't really done even in 4v3s or 5v3. Some cases have still collapsed in these closing moments. And I'm nervous about the fact we're going into the last 20 seconds. This is where things generally start going very wrong. They've left it a little bit too late, gone that little step too slow, and they've got to find these gunfights that simply aren't there. 2v1. Groovy finds one more, steps up for a second. It's all too easy. Gaveni left alive here trying to find the last 2 players, but will not be able to find both. Almost gets one. Knows about a man a little bit further back. Going to try and make a plan happen here, but Secret will descend. They will get the round closed, and in fact, they went the wrong way.
Gaveni comes off the diffuser there, and I always... It's easy to say the same thing, right?
I mean, they even said save your KD, like, why?
There's absolutely no way that DarkZero or Gaveni win that round by coming off the diffuser, you know, by coming off the plant. That's all I can say. You know, it did look like Secret had gone the wrong way. You look.
They were going for the other side.
There was, I think, there was another player coming from elevator side,
and he was going down the corridor.
Yeah, so there was possibly an opportunity for Gaveni to complete that. And the thing is, if you complete it, you never know what's going to happen. You know, come off, get yourself ready to shoot straight away. Just stranger things have happened.
Even if it's 1 in 50 that you win, it's still
1 in 50 sometimes. Exactly. You know, that's it. And so for me, there's no point letting go of the plant button. There's
not for a bit of KD and stats on CGG.
Not for the sake of KD. Just keep a hold of it. Get the diffuser down. If you get killed before that happens, fine. But you know 100% by letting go of it, you're losing the round. So you're just choosing to lose the round at that point.
That's it. You're surrendering it, you're throwing it away, but we move. Here we go onto the defensive side, and this was what I was excited to see. The difference in the Solus use and what the attainment is. Already, 2 drones gone for Team Secret, make that 3. And again, I know it feels like a real moot point just to keep on counting these things that are gone. It's not the end of the world, I know. But versus DarkZero had all 10 left alive. Secret are down to 6 inside 15 seconds.
We're going to have the speed rush coming in here. We've got Astro just trying to support Kendrew on the Monty to get inside a server, but NJR is there using smoke canisters inside the first 30 seconds. He's blown the Goyo canister. He's having to throw everything at this to keep them out.
And Pamba finds Groovy as well. That was up top. That's the problem again with being flanked and not having any idea exactly what's going on here. Secret have gone in blind, really tried to make the Monty work, but behind smokes, behind Vulcan canisters, Secret now have given DarkZero a lot of time to adapt.
They have. That's the positive here of NJR's play in Dirt Tunnel. That's going to be his final smoke canister, so he's going to have to start thinking about potentially getting back to site. We're going to have a nade going in there just to keep him away on the shotgun. He's low health now, but he is going to commit to this fully as the Monty starts to push in. He's not interested in Kendrew, and he's just looking around the back because he knows that it won't take much, Des. 1 pump, 2,
oh my God,
and 3! Oh, somehow Kendrew manages to hit him with the drop shot, and that is going to take NJR out, but not before the damage is done. What a play from NJR.
DarkZero have just completely shut this round out as well. I appreciate what Secret were going for. A little bit of a cheeky surprise in your first attack, hoping to catch them off guard, but DarkZero are used to their hijinks. Looking here, I think, to try and make a plant go down, but simply not going to have the opportunity, not when there is a Solus stood in gold bars. She is the new Pulse, feeding all this juicy information over about when the plant starts to go down.
Just going to have the drone work going on to at least try and see what's kind of going on ahead of them. But in a 2v4, one of those being a shield, this is certainly not going to be easy now. We can see further time being burnt away by the Goyo canisters. Kendra is thinking about potentially getting a plant here. When he turns his back like that, Monty, when Monty goes to plant, his shield goes onto his back and the bullets will be, you know, they will be blocked by that. So he's just thinking about it. But like you say, the hatch is just making it a little bit of a concern, but Slevin's up there. He's got a little bit of cover, and there's a potential here for this to go down.
There's a C4 on side and an impact as well. He should not be getting away with this any day of the week. And that's exactly, again, why you got the Solus here waiting to make that call. And Sky's all he's got to do is wait for the call like a good boy, then toss that C4 out towards the door, and Kendra should be going down. He feels like he's found a spot, but he's burning up a little bit here as well. So it's just a matter of waiting for these last 15 seconds to elapse.
Certainly is. Kendrew's going to push all the way in deep, try to get himself next to the bomb chassis. He's got absolutely no choice but to try and go for this. He's going to switch to the pistol. Gaveni manages to get Slevo, and that's it. It was all too much at that point. Final kill comes in from Canadian, and that is going to be DarkZero taking a defensive round.
And with DarkZero, timeout after 1 round. Let's listen to what Secret have got to say in just a moment.
Nice round, Nick.
Thank you.
Well, they did try to kick something out, but yeah. Expect that for the others.
The thing is, they will try to force it to this place. Okay, they will try to force. They have a lot of resources on the side. We cannot. We need to try to grab our kills from the room as we were doing into the last map. And the other thing is, if you guys want to do a rush or anything, don't worry about it. You guys can do it. But if you guys see that it's going wrong, do not commit to that. Don't be afraid of changing this strat. Don't be afraid. Because the thing is, if we just trying to go a rush and have smoke and have everything, we cannot simply keep just going to that, guys. We're going to lose probably. So let's go, let's change, let's make more fluids. Our game is not that stuck game of one thing. We are fluids. If we play our game, we just win this fucking shit, okay? Let's fucking go.
Let's go,
Yes,
guys.
boss. Yes, boss. Come on, guys. Focus up. Focus up, boys.
Guys,
That's
as
full
said-
clear.
Interesting point from Twister there. You know, just saying, and you can't really fault him in what he's saying. Going in there, playing into a smoke with a shotgun on a tight angle. You've got 3 canisters
Vulcan
coming out. You've got the
smoke
Vulcan canister.
canisters.
You know, you've got so much stacked up there. It's almost, you know, DarkZero have set up for that potential sort of rush in through the tunnel. So maybe we don't play into it. Maybe, you know, we've got to go away and think of something else. And you know, you've got to say that he's got a point there.
All the right words being said, but we'll see exactly what impact that has as the rounds get underway. DarkZero just 1 shy of catching up to Team Secret. And the thing is, my only real commentary on what we just heard then from Twister is I know he was talking a lot about how to respond in a rush when it isn't going well. You know, Secret aren't going to rush every single round. It's just simply not the way to be playing the game. So I almost wonder if saying, you know, we've tried a rush, it didn't work out, boys. Let's go and try something different instead now. If that doesn't work out, that's when you have your tactical timeout. Because now if they mess up playing non-rush gameplay, there's no opportunity for Twister to get involved. So not 100% bought into the idea of using the tactical timeout just to comment on a rush, but we'll see what impact it has in the coming rounds.
Straight up onto the rooftop we go with Kendrew. He's going to call in the E1D scan as well. We also heard the advice given there of, you know, trying to clear out those roamers, get the kills as they did on Skyscraper. So we may be going to have Secret going back towards trying to pick up these roamers, such as Canadian. He's out there in archives and tellers at the minute in that sort of area, just looking to use those vault cams. Cheeky putting them on the floor, obviously, as you see straight away there. The Twitch drone looking towards the ceilings, usually for higher placements of things like Valkyrie cams, and it can be an interesting little move. You can get away with it by dumping them on the floor, maybe just out of that normal line of sight, and Canadian might just have all the information that he needs here. He sees the Twitch drone jumping around in front of him. The cam is just down to the bottom right of your screen, I think, underneath that drone, but it's not going to be able to see.
On the stairs, yeah.
Yeah, not going to be taking it out just yet.
Genius. Most will obviously chuck them skyward. That's where the players and the drones have been looking, but nothing to be found. And obviously not forgetting as well, you don't necessarily have to see with the black eye. It's also what you can hear alongside it as well. Canadian bringing down Sleb, 1 more comes in, but it's a joint push at the same time. He'll be crying a little bit about the lack of cover there from Pamba that's given 2 kills over to Team Secret, but it's still a 3 versus 3. Make that a 3v2.
Another good round coming in from Secret at the minute then. They've listened to what Twister said. They've gone and they've started to take out those players away from sight where the opportunities are presented. Canadian is going to be looking for a vertical kill above him. He's dancing around, but the Nitro will be unsuccessful. It really did seem like it didn't even land on the ceiling. It seemed like maybe the throw was just a little bit off. Kendrew's going to start moving down the marble stairs, I think. They know that Canadian's playing in that sort of area, but they just can't quite get the answer to get a line onto him just yet.
Here we go, the site now being exposed and opened up. They've done the vertical work that they feel they had to do to get themselves moving forwards, but NJR really turning into the hero of this series. Finds 2, will he make it 3? He hits the deck. It's Canadian versus Astro with just 1 HP to Astro's name. A single bullet enough to get this one done. Moving himself upstairs, looking to play on the vertical it seems as well. If he has the right control, he can make this work, but NJR would have fed over that information. The drop comes through, Troy knows where he is, sprays through the soft wall, and they get the kill.
Astro there obviously just dropping into sight, trying to get that diffuser down. I think he probably thought...
I saw him with a coke hand, but I didn't see him when he dropped.
I shot him anyways, I don't miss, you know.
No, that's...
I don't miss.
I don't miss.
Well, Troy, I'm pretty sure there's a certain moment on White Stairs, Oregon that we can all point back to.
I think, interestingly there, Astro dropping and going for the plant. I think maybe wasn't fully aware of Canadian's position. There was 30 seconds left on the clock. He had time. He also had a finger boost. He could also use the nanobots that just become available to him. So he could have recovered some health there as well, and maybe given himself an opportunity, you know, to go for a little bit of a fight with Canadian rather than dropping and going for the plant at that point. So, you know, it's difficult in those situations. You've got to do what you feel is right, and if you think the opportunity is there, maybe the comms, maybe the information was telling him, you know, that Canadian was elsewhere, or that they weren't 100% at least, and that there was an opportunity, but unfortunately for him, not the case. So that's going to level things up. DarkZero 4-4 now, and they're looking to push through. There's one map ahead, of course. If they can get this, then it is a full 4 points for them, and that will be huge for DarkZero in this group.
Absolutely massive, and you feel again that momentum kind of swing in DarkZero's favor quite heavily right now. That Solis, again, is doing just so much work for them. And I know maybe some teams might look on at this and just say, well, you know, Secret didn't respond to it very well. They've already lost 4 drones again, by the way, none out on the field. But you'll be looking at this and saying, we can deal with the Solis. I would honestly consider for a couple of teams that have been playing Solis really well. I'm pretty sure M&M was another team someone said that's used it really well. We haven't cast any M&M, wouldn't know too much. But I think you are going to have to start banning it against these teams that can utilize it well, because it's just proved to be an absolute terror throughout this entire series.
Sleben looking to move himself into main lobby. Probably the best operator to be doing it. They had the switch going in there previously, but this time the IQ should make it a little bit easier to spot out any of those Valkyrie cams that are there. Not Canadian on the Valk this time. He's moved back across the Solis. It's going to be Skies, and this lineup gets even more oppressive as we go. Solis and Valkyrie this time. Pamba just looking away at the wrong time. Going to take a few shots from behind and then shut down by Groovy, and that's going to give an opening kill advantage to Team Secret.
Re-peeking there a little bit, but oh my god.
Oh dear.
Oh, imagine, that would have been a clip and a half. Oh my goodness. The irony of bouncing a grenade off a computer monitor as well.
Changing mix.
Grube just going to be holding that long angle down into Archives from top square, seeing if he can catch anybody rotating inside of sight. Just looking at the attacker lineup, they need to be getting Savage in there on the book, of course. Kendrew just looking for some verticals, but it's going to be Canadian hitting Grube, and that gives them a big problem. Canadians opened up an angle into top skylight, and so they need to be very, very careful up there now.
Got to be careful about, I mean, Canadian himself has got to be careful where he's looking too. I mean, some vertical work being done, C4 going off in completely the wrong spot, sadly. And then thinking for a second, maybe they've found Skies. Nope, he is out of dodge. He has moved himself away as the vertical starts to get opened up. Reminds me a lot of Kitchen on Coastline, forcing the defenders off site and forcing them to play a little bit of a retake here. Orders holding things down more laterally. NJR, again, proving himself a demon. Up to 12 and 7. Gaveni joining him as well with a kill. Looks like Secret's attack may have just fallen apart.
I feel like DarkZero are really starting to pick up a bit of momentum here. Des, they're winning gunfight after gunfight, using some nasty angles to pick those kills up. And right now, Team Secret are going to be asking themselves exactly what it is that they need to do. You know, coming through, getting roamers isn't enough. Going straight to site isn't enough. And they've certainly going to have to change some things up. Astro on half health is going to be working his way down square skylight stairs. Maybe just trying to go route 1 into site. Go and have a look and see if he can pick up a kill or two and level up the numbers.
Absolutely. Flash is coming in, bouncing off that wall. Unfortunately, not quite going where required. They're going to have to make a raw drop work here. See one on the downstairs, but you drop straight into a line of undrone players inside of open office. It looks to be a shutout here for DarkZero. 3 rounds on the bounce. They'll move up to 5 and 4, and Secret are going to be reeling. See, the thing is, Tim, this is where I would call a timeout.
Yes.
This is when things are now going from bad to worse, and Twister could do is stepping in, not after a rush has failed.
That's it. It's already done and gone. You know, like you say, when you're playing those rush plays, that maybe it's a little bit of a roll of the dice, and it's not too much of a surprise if it doesn't work out. But DarkZero, you feel like DarkZero as well have just they've got that smell of victory now, and I just feel like the mental edge for them is going to be quite significant versus Team Secret, who are sort of looking at the situation of sort of like, not this again. And that is going to be difficult for them to overlook. If DarkZero get one more, then I think they get the map.
What it will give is there have been some promising signs for Secret throughout the series, though, right? I know, like, it's not yet over. We're talking as if it is. But Secret have shown some really good capabilities. Just a few little rough areas around the edges that need to be tweaked and worked on. I have quite enjoyed seeing Kendrew and Groovy, I think it was, earlier out on their own, doing a little bit of bother as well. Astro getting himself involved at points as well. But I just feel like DarkZero have now got a feel for them the longer this series has gone, whether on attack or defense, and bank suddenly doesn't look as favorable towards Secret as maybe we thought we might see it.
Attackers are moving out to locate
There's not. Canadian up on the top floor, just hunting those drones again. Already got 4. They are down to 6. It's something that we commented on last time around, the effectiveness of the Solis and DarkZero's use of her, and that certainly continues at this point. Team Secret likely to be starved of information again, and it's going to come back to that discussion that we had there. As you know, you expected a potential Solis ban to come in from Team Secret. They chose not to. They used it themselves. But when available, DarkZero just, absolutely, you know, doing serious work with that operator again.
Again, 30 seconds in, 5 drones are gone. Again, I don't want to make it all about the drones because there's far more to just information in around, but there's a reason why they're so valued by so many teams and that they'll only, you know, look to lose even one, if that, during the droning phase. DarkZero, as an opposite end to that, have been really good at keeping them alive, but it's frustrating, Secret. You're seeing it in their gameplay, you're seeing it in their reactions. Again, it's not just the only thing that's causing it, but it's very clear it's having a big impact, and I would 100% be asking, why wasn't that Solis banned away? If I find Kendrew later, I'll ask him.
Just going to drop back to site there, DarkZero. Just going to see Gaveni on the Goyo just dropping back in, and they have got numbers now. Team Secret have got control of the map, half of the round to go, and they can start thinking about building towards an execute. Astro is going to drop himself into open area. There's the confidence, there's the knowledge that they are nice and safe in what they are doing, but we're going to be playing this position again. You know, it's one that we've seen Pulse play for years. You're standing there with the scanner and you feed the information of when they're coming down blue stairs, when they're in server, when they're going for plant. You can do the same thing with the Solis, except you can see those drones, and that's something that Pulse can't do.
Absolutely not. You have seen a bit of Pulse still this competition, even with Solis available, mind you. More, I think, because of the fact there's a C4 ready to toss skyward of your own accord, rather than having to rely on teammates for that. But, and of course, you can only see operators with the Pulse. You can't see it with the Solis, though sometimes gadgets do give it away as to where those players are. Secret now getting focused on a classic execute on this site here, opening up the bottom stairs wall and seeing what else they've got to burn through. One of those Vulcan canisters taken offline. But no doubt there'll be more to worry about as well. There'll be 1 or 2 more normally strapped around the site. I think we've seen 4 stacked up by some teams, the Russian teams especially, inside of EUL. You see another one burning off. I think that's the 3rd one that's now gone through. Kendrew's in and trying to make a plan happen by the looks of it. A smoke coming through. They've got the long angle on this one as well. They might get away with it.
They certainly might. We're going to have Canadian feeding the information in. They know that the plant is happening, but nothing that they can do about it. As kill after kill rains in for Team Secret, it's all up to Pamba, shut down by Savage, and Team Secret are going to take the round and level things up 5-5. We're going to see a minimum of 12 rounds here on Bank, and it could be a second map, a second overtime, Des.
I think it was a really good bait by Secret there as well, and essentially what happened is they know there's a Solis playing in gold bars. They know full well that they're going to be screaming, plants going down, plants going down, plants going down. Every player on DZ turns towards that planter and tries to get rid of Kendrew. What happens then? Secret drop 2 players in through the hatches and capitalize on the chaos. Everyone's attentions are elsewhere. They kill everyone off and win the round without really having to worry about the plant in the end. That was a diversion towards the actual goal. It was to get kills to win the round. Really well done by Secret. DZ calling a tactical break to have a conversation about how they can repair this.
If they are clearing, like, they're fucking slow. You're eating them. Like, do not be afraid to like bunker on this one as well. Like, we have to fall back. Last time we literally ate them. Yep. And they just dropped hack. Like, that was actually, they literally dropped into them.
Yeah. Definitely, we can definitely drop it. Drunk just.
Very few words for a tactical break, Tim.
Yeah, not too much there. Like you say, pretty limited in scope in terms of maybe what's going to change coming out of that. You know, maybe a tactical break just to try and break the momentum a little bit and, you know, prevent Secret getting anything rolling, really. You know, DarkZero may already be reasonably confident that they, you know, have already sort of course-corrected a little bit towards the end of that round, maybe. Discussions ongoing whilst Pamba was in the 1vx potentially, and it's just about slowing Secret down.
Alrighty, let's see how things go then. At 5-5, we are guaranteed to see all 12 rounds in this game. I feel like really DarkZero are the ones who have to say whether it is going to be going through to overtime or if they can take it out here to a 6-5 and eventually a 7-5, as they have felt the more commanding force. I know there weren't too many words exchanged there just a second ago, but you get the sense that really they should be the ones walking away with a small advantage after a conversation like that. The only thing that makes me a little bit nervous for them is a very interesting lineup coming out of Team Secret here. We've got the Glaz and the Monty on side. Smokes galore, 4 of them coming out between the two teams. They'll be looking to try and not cheese their way through, but pull off a very execute-focused lineup here.
Going to be heading straight up towards the top floor by the looks of things. Astro just on the upside down rappel of the single window into open area as well. A bit of pressure onto electrical. That wall's been opened very, very quickly. NJR, I think, just ready here for any potential aggression directly in towards site with the Monty. That's it, just get straight in. And that's exactly where the push comes. An essential kill from Astro on the way in, but Canadian manages to get one onto Sleben. And has that just slowed down the pace of this rush at all? Kendrew, he goes in, going to have an opportunity to get that diffuser down. He just needs to get behind the counter there. He can turn his back and look to plant, and that's exactly what he's going to do. And I don't feel like DarkZero have got any answer at the minute to this.
They don't. They really need an answer, though, is the issue, right? They're going to spray through the soft wall and find one. That's not bad, but 2 kills have already come in. Canadians left alone. You're trying to take down a Monty, my son. It's never going to happen. They have been caught with their pants down by Secret, who will find themselves the round. Up to 6-5 they go.
Canadian goes in and just gets that final kill, but will do no more.
Base it down. Let's go.
Bro. He went for his kill as well.
I didn't see this guy because he was fucking hard.
The tactical timeout not really doing too much for DarkZero in the grand scheme of things there. Team Secret able to take the next round. 6-5 puts them on map point, and that would take us all the way through to that theme park decider. But if Skyscraper was anything to go by, you just feel like this might have another twist in the tail just yet, Des.
Whew.
Attackers have located a bomb.
Do you feel Secret can do it? 7-5, theme park? Does it take us into theme park?
I don't know, it's a big ask, it's theme park. I think it plays more into DarkZero. There's less of a, it feels like there's probably less of a time concern on attack, and they've largely answered that question here on Bank as well. I don't know. It's a very difficult one to call. It will be a very close game.
Reinforced wall coming up again there as well. And I think, in case you're wondering why they open up that wall, it's so the Monty, if you're trying to push through, has not got to expose himself to the Archives wall. Otherwise, you're going in through a single doorway. You are out in the open to square, to the windows and doorway coming out of Archives. That wall just gives you a direct, easy access in towards site, as wonderfully demonstrated by Medics. Thank you very much, good sir.
We have the attack mounting up from the front side of the building this time around. IQ, Groovy just going in there and pinging out, giving information on as much electronic gadgets as he can do, and he's probably going to pick up on at least 1 or 2 of those Valkyrie cameras you would expect. That's why they're being brought along, so you would at least hope so. Skies up on the top floor. Particularly important position, really. Skies needs to be holding off anybody, Pamba it is, who's actually going to get the kill onto the window. I was going to say needs to be holding off anybody on those rappels and stopping them get in. Pamba's had to go all the way on a big rotate down to basement, but this is quickly going in DarkZero's favour, Des. They've got themselves another with Gaveni finding a kill, and that's Savage, Sleben and Kendrew off the board as Skies does his job on the top floor, and it is all up to Astro and Groovy, and unlikely, I would say, that they turn this around. It certainly looks like we're going to be heading into those additional rounds.
prep the line, Tim, because it's coming up in about 10 seconds. I feel Astro entirely by himself and knows that there is very little hope he has for saving this game. It feels like it's going to be wrapped up and we'll go into overtime, or saving the round more like, going into overtime pretty much immediately after, with all 5 still alive on the DZ side here. It's a matter of time until he goes down, and then attention will turn to how things play out. The beautiful thing that Secret have got is it was their map pick. They choose which side they start on going into OT, so you give them a small lead.
Astro's just roaming around on the top floor at the minute, trying to find anybody. It's all he can do, really. It's a 1 versus 5. You've really just got to try and pick these up as 1v1s as and when you can. He sees a long angle there, takes a little pot shot through, a little bit of damage to Gaveni, but nothing to write home about. Astro is going to continue pushing from there, but nope, NJR has got him lined up, and NJR is having a fantastic game so far today. That continues, and he's going to put them into overtime, Des.
We'll go into overtime, Tim, for the 2nd time this series.
Indeed.
Imagine if we get to Theme Park and it goes all the way to 15.
We've still got that bingo card that needs ticking off. 3rd map overtime.
I don't know if I want it at this time of night, though.
It's very late for it.
I'm gonna keep.
We'll be all right.
You're looking like you need a pillow, mate.
Nah, we'll be all right.
We'll manage. We always do. We start things off in staff room and open area. Interestingly, Secret choosing to go on the attacking side here on Bank as well. And for many, it is considered to be an attacking site, and Secret are going to be attacking into staff room and open area. A similar site to what we saw earlier on when we had the rush come out. Of course, just a moment ago, we saw that fall short. So, DarkZero rolling the dice and saying to Secret, okay, you cracked it once with a rush, but by the looks of it, you can't do it with a more normal lineup. Let's see what else you've got up your sleeve. How else might you surprise us on this site?
We get underway almost then. 15 seconds to go. Setup is continuing. We're going to have DarkZero with Pamba and Skies upstairs. Gaveni going to join as well. And again, no Solis, but Canadian on the Valkyrie. So information being gained from there at least. And the Solis being brought along most sort of popularly for downstairs, it seems, at the minute. But they certainly want those black eye cameras. Groovy just going to take out that window from distance. And we've got, again, a multi-faceted approach here from Secret. They haven't generally been pushing in one singular direction. We've got them just sort of testing the waters all over the map at the minute.
Slowly working their way through once again. This Valve Cam don't fix what ain't broken. It's done so much work for them inside of the lobby. Why bother getting rid of it? No IQ. Sorry, IQ is now here. Last time round, we didn't see it brought along by Secret. But Groupie's got it on side, hopefully. Going to get his backside over towards lobby sometime soon, because it is giving all this information over to DZ, and they look ready. There we go. Now they've finally spotted out the camera, and can remove it for free.
Sleben just going to be, again, working his way into main lobby, trying to get established inside of the map. They know where Canadian's going to be. Canadian has played Archives Tellers every single time with the Valkyrie, but it's going to be Pamba who gets found first. Sleben managing to pick him up. He's got in there quickly. Astro, as I said, likely to know where Canadian is playing. He steps up and manages to find Skies. There could be an opportunity to push onto the Valkyrie as well, and this has been a great start to Team Secret's overtime.
Beautiful stuff, 2 early kills. It does feel like these kind of rounds start as a small whimper and then really cascade into a landslide. Previous round was exactly the same story when we had Astro left in that 1 versus 5. It did start out with a couple of kills, slipping over their way, and then descending into more and more, and that's exactly what's happening for Secret. Just 2 more left for DarkZero, Gaveni and NJR. Probably 2 of the players that you would want left in a situation like this, NJR especially, but is it too tall in order to ask?
Just going to hold on to the rotation there, see if you can pick anybody up on the way through. This is in a 2 versus 5, much the same as I said last time around. You've just got to wait and see if you can just bait out a couple of opportunities. If you can get a couple of cheap kills, you then find yourself in a 2 versus 3, and you just can't overcommit to trying to find them. But it's unlikely at this point that Team Secret throw this away. I think they are going to work their way through. There's one that NJR needed, but that is not going to help, as Astro does a lot of damage there. NJR below half now, and just back into sight to try and haul up. 40 seconds left to hold on is an awfully long time.
And against Astro, it's simply not going to happen. Straight through the skull of NJR. Gaveni the last one left standing, the new boy for DZ, with some work to do. One inside Printer and finds him, but Kendrew gets the close. Secret move up to map point.
Well played, lads. Let's go. Let's go. Let's fucking go.
Secret able to keep fighting in this one. As I said, coming into it a little bit concerned, even though it was their map pick, that they might struggle with the mental side of things, but showing pretty good resilience at the minute.
They're going to be the ones on defense down in the basement, not going for the open area in staff room like their counterparts on DZ. Looking to lock themselves in on the downstairs, and I'm glad to see the Solars coming out again. Part of me does kind of like, not so much lament DZ for not employing that in the last round, but when your team has done so much work with it, why you wouldn't try and find a site that can optimize and make use for that best is a little bit of a kicker. But Kendrew and the rest of Secret looking to make use of it in this round, alongside that Mozzie, which has been that kind of duplicate, or the duo, sorry, alongside the Solis now for most of this game, along with the information coming out of the bank. So a real nice triangle of operators there that all work really, really well together, either in hunting down drones or while doing just that, and in some cases using that information against the attackers as well.
10 seconds remaining.
Here we go then. It's going to be down to the basement for Team Secret to try and hold on. Looking at the lineup of DarkZero, they've got the Jackal, so they're going to be trying to track down those roamers potentially and get them killed out. Previously, they've been able to go largely directly to site. They haven't, had to go too far out into the map. They've just been able to manage the flanks, but it looks like this time they might be going for a bit more of a chase down.
Okie dokie. See what they can make do here with the roam hunting as well. I mean, the one thing I have probably clocked is that a couple of times we have seen Canadian and Kendrew almost caught out on that Solis. Out there hunting down the drones, looking to feed information back and forth. They have been tagged once or twice, and this is why Kendrew looking to get out of dodge a little bit here. Moving back towards the safety of the janitor's closet, near the hatch, ready to get back down to safety.
Savage drops himself down the blue stairs. Always fascinated to see how teams go about holding this area. You know, sometimes they will commit to those blue stairs and hold on to them long term. Sometimes they'll drop back into server. I think Savage was on his way back. Kendrew is going to get one kill and then he's going to fall back in towards site. And that's going to be enough for him. Taking down the Dockerbee of Gavene is a big one. It's just going to prevent the cameras being hacked if they haven't already been done so. It's going to prevent those universal calls coming in and just disrupting everybody. That's quite a big opening kill.
Takes off 3 of the flashes they had in back pocket as well. Not that you always need them, but it is useful in those dying moments to flash out any players holed up in a room. For example, shotguns that might be at the waiting, especially looking towards Savage with a statement like that. But Secret just holding up on site here outside of Sleben, now feeling pretty comfortable and ready to deal with whatever DarkZero might be throwing at them.
NJR heading down the marble stairs, just looking for anybody ahead of him. There is drones going there just to provide some information. It's still... Gonna say it was certainly still doable for DarkZero, and then I saw what was unfolding before us, and Sleben did as well, just waiting there for the headshot. Took a lot of damage, and you could say maybe that NJR was a little bit unfortunate there not to find at least the trade, but unfortunately that's just how it goes sometimes. Sleben, he's gonna live to fight another day. We'll likely stay inside the site now, and then the 3 versus 5, DarkZero I think are gonna struggle with this attack.
Does feel it, in which case Theme Park awaits potentially a third map with a third overtime. I'll take it to be our longest series so far of the competition if we keep on going at this pace. Smoke grenades being burnt out here in DarkZero, trying to piecemeal together and attack to see what can possibly work. More of those breaching rounds coming out as well, or breach charges, sorry, coming through as the Incandelas start to rain, but it feels a little bit mistimed. In fact, no, it's a lie, because Canadian is in trying to make this stick, but he's inhaling in the gas. Tries to push in deep here to see what he can find. Feels like he's found a safe spot, but he's going to tuck him right next to the soft wall. Skies, crucial on this angle, will find one, drops down and goes for a second, can't quite find it. Pamper's left against 3, he cannot do it. Secret send us through to Theme Park.
We're going all the way to 3 maps there, and Secret holding on to their own map. Both teams requiring overtime to do so. It's been a perfect mirror, 8-6, 8-6, holding on to their own maps. Theme Park will follow, and really, honestly, it's absolutely anybody's at the minute. This is a very close matchup.
It's hard to call. I really thought after that first map fell away from Secret, we would see ourselves done in 2, but DarkZero hold on, winning each other's map picks. Who wins Theme Park is still yet to be anyone's guess, but we will find out in just a few minutes, so don't go anywhere.